Look, my throat started bleeding. This is not ink or color, this is actual blood. I have no idea how this happened. Well, just a few hours ago I started recording videos about Sadhguru, and I was really realizing so many things about my life, and then I laid down on my bed, and as I was doing something on my phone, I had to put my phone down, and I had to close my eyes because the sheer power of the something was happening. But sorry, yes. Something was happening to me. I'm gonna continue talking. Something was happening to me. I had to close my eyes and really pay attention to my inner reality. And I felt like my throat was beginning to open up, and I felt like I had a lingam in my throat, yeah, that's just the energy. And it was beaming forward, it was expanding. And it was placed in the Kailash mountain itself. And I felt a very strong sensation in the pit of my throat. I didn't really think anything of it, and then I did something on my phone again, and I laid back down to essentially sleep. And then just now it's 2:40 a.m. and I woke up to use the bathroom. And I look at the mirror and my throat is bleeding, so I absolutely have no idea how this happened. I don't know how I could have punctured my throat, or is this some kind of a mystical experience. I'm gonna go wash it and see what this is, and because obviously this is quite phenomenal. Let's see. Wow, and I still do feel a strong sensation in my throat. Whoa. Yeah, this is blood. That is quite remarkable. I'm sorry if this is gross, but what the hell happened? That is very, very strange. How could this have happened? Regardless, I hope I don't have a hole in my throat. That would be fun. But literally, I was saying to the forces above me, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, to get there. And this is what happened. So it appears that I punctured my throat somehow. And I'll share another insight with you that's actually quite phenomenal. Okay, I promise you, this is not a publicity stunt or anything like that. I would never do this purposely. I'm not that delusional, to take some marker and draw on myself. I'm sure some people might be thinking that, but this is actual legitimate blood. And I didn't puncture myself with anything, any object. I wasn't exposed to anything, and this is not strong enough to do that, My little necklace here. So whatever. Anyways, I'll share one more mystical insight with you, and then I'll have to go sleep. This is it. I recorded a video with Kailash. It's titled Sadhguru, Why I Love Him So Much. It's worth watching because this particular video is responsible for this, I believe. And I recorded that video and I published it, and then I rewatched it. I rewatched most of my videos. And as I'm watching this video, the immensity just came through. Like, my God, Sadhguru is walking through the Himalayas around this Kailash Manasarova region. And I'm just seeing Sadhguru for what he is and who he is. And he's just a human being that has just, has severe mastery over himself. And then the Kailash mountain itself, I just had a huge glimpse. It's like so remarkable. It's so phenomenal. The power that Shiva must have had to imprint his energies onto this mountain, and what he understands about the universe, what he knows about the universe, his capabilities in this whole world are phenomenal. They're beyond anything that a human being can even probably imagine. It is as significant as right now I see a termite, or something even lower than a termite, maybe like, okay, let's say an ant, just to make it very simple. An ant, the complexity of an ant is very simple. He just goes up and crawls. It doesn't have any capabilities at all. It's like, it's an ant, okay? Similarly, that's the perspective I saw as a human being. We think we're so great, human beings. Human beings are just a little tiny creature on this little planet, a ball of Earth. There are so many more highly evolved beings in this universe. Just like we're so much more evolved than ants, so we can do things with our arms. We can think. We can reason. We can create things. We can make videos. And I'm gonna go take a look in the mirror in a second. Yeah, so Kailash is just immensely powerful, and my God, I'm so grateful that I had this insight, because I am going to go to Kailash physically. I am going to see what the place is. I'm going to absorb everything I possibly can into my own body. I'm making my body a worthy receptacle for allowing all the energies of this universe to be consumed into me. And I want to have whatever is the peak potential of my human form. That is what I am striving towards. So whatever is the peak potential of the output of these lights, however much voltage I can blast into these lights, and for it to expand as much light as it possibly can before it shatters completely into oblivion, that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm aiming for. I want the maximum level of energy that is capable in this human body, in this form. I want to know everything. Literally, I want to know everything. So let me see. Let me take a look at my throat here. That's crazy. Oh yeah, there's a... I'm gonna... Okay, pause it if you feel grossed out, but... Either something came out of me or what, but it's right in the pit of my throat. And again, this is just a metal ball. It can't puncture me like that. And I wasn't, had any pens or anything around, so... Okay, I'll just leave it at that. So, well, this is quite phenomenal. I hope you've enjoyed watching me up until this point, and definitely subscribe, do whatever you can, because I'm going to be a mystical man here on planet Earth. The time has shifted, finally, so that human beings can become more mystical in their nature, and we're not going to go, the police aren't going to go chase us down, or people aren't going to run after us with pitchforks. So the whole energy in the whole planet is shifting towards mysticism, and, human beings are going to be mystical as the time progresses. So whatever this happened, it feels intuitively like whatever was blocking me in my throat, whatever needed to be purged out. And I literally see, as I was meditating, when I was meditating just a few hours ago, that whatever is the final step in my throat chakra, my throat center here, I've just achieved it. Like, oh, and it finally worked. Like, my throat fully opened up. I'm like, oh, that's phenomenal. That's fantastic. And now I have this little kind of confirmation. I don't know how this happened, but that's kind of scary, but not really. So it's relatively harmless. So the pressure has been let go of or released. I don't know, I probably somehow punctured myself. That's just the only logical explanation here. Or maybe there's another explanation, I don't know. I don't fully understand this, but yeah, if you're wondering why I'm talking about the throat chakra so much, is the throat center is responsible for occult and mysticism and, these types of dimensions. So it is not just a simple thing like, oh, your communication, you're going to be talking very loud or something like that. No, that's like that's a very tiny periphery. It deals with the occult. It deals with... Shiva was a master of the throat center. Shiva was a master of the occult. That's why his body is always depicted as blue, because literally that is how your body looks like when you go through this. Wow. And so yeah, I want to have a blue throat. I want to be a blue colored body, energetically speaking, in my aura. And the camera might turn off at any moment because it's low battery, so let's end it whenever is the appropriate time. So yeah, the throat chakra is representative of that specifically, and it deals with mysticism and the occult, and that's something definitely that I want to master. I want to have all the capabilities that I possibly can achieve in this human form. That's what I want to have. And wow. So whatever Shiva was, whatever the Adi Yogi was, of course he had mastery over this dimension. The most difficult dimension to master, by the way, the hardest thing to open up, the hardest thing to put your energy into is your throat, is the hardest thing to actually work upon. Generally, men tend to go into this direction, the throat center. Women do not usually go into this because this is a very crazy place. This is a very wild place. It makes it very dangerous, in that particular way, like in the life sense. Not that you're going to go out and break objects or something like that, not like that, but it's a quite phenomenal, very capable dimension. And Sadhguru is in this space, in this dimension, constantly. His body is blue, an electric blue. And Sadhguru says that anyone that opens up this dimension, their ability to work in the world is phenomenally powerful, and they're very capable to go out and work in the world. Why? Because you literally burn through everything. Like, the physical world can't compete with you, or you're not going to be bound by objects. You could just overcome any object very simply. Obstacle, I should say, right? So yeah, Shiva was a master at this, and Shiva took the first yogi, that's what I'm talking about, Shiva. The first yogi took his insights and placed it into this mountain, and as I watched my video, I just realized that human beings are just little creatures here. We're just little creatures. We're just little creatures, as if, like, you know, I don't pay attention to an ant, like, oh, ant is like, oh, wow. No, okay? It's like, my God, if ant decides to walk on his 2 feet, like, you know, stands up and starts walking erect, that, you know, cameras are going to be on, and the news stations are going to be like, oh my God, a little ant just started walking. So similarly with human beings, you know, whatever you think you're a billionaire, you're a little poofy little small guy, it's nothing, okay? It's like, it's a little termite here, a little dust particle here. So the only thing that matters is spiritually growing, spiritually progressing. That's the only thing that matters in this universe, to become more aware, to become more conscious, to become more, everything that I just mentioned and more. And that's the only thing that matters, and this is how you get the attention of much more powerful beings than you, like Shiva himself, and that's what I've gotten, and I'm willing to go all the way, full on, full blast, no stopping me now. Like, whatever is the fastest pace I can go forward into this direction. I want to know everything. I want to master everything. I want to have complete control over my body, complete control over my mind, complete control over my energy, complete control of my emotions, complete control over this entire creation. And I shall have that, and I will have that. And I want to totally perceive and penetrate the space of Kailash. I want to know everything that there is to know about that. That's such a phenomenal place. You have no idea. I don't know how my throat started bleeding, but that's just phenomenal, okay? And something happened, and you know, I want to get back to me talking about this meditation, because like I said, I want to reiterate this, and this is important for me to mention. And it's 10% battery, okay? That I was meditating, like I said, and something started occurring in my throat. I could feel what is this part in the throat called? It's called, it's a gland. It's called thyroid gland. I saw this thyroid gland in me, and it was turning into light itself, and I could see it like as almost like a form of a lingam. You can Google what this word lingam means and how lingam looks like. It looks like a giant egg or some other male appendage sometimes. So as this was happening, it was turning into light, and I see that this is deeply connected to the space of Kailash, and I was just really concentrating and seeing how far I could take this image or imagination or energy, whatever was happening. So it was clearing, and it cleared fully. I'm like, oh, okay, great. And then I needed to again do something on my phone. I put my phone down. I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I need to sleep. I turned off my Wi-Fi, put my phone in my bag, and I rolled over and I started sleeping. So I don't know how. There's nothing in my bed that could have punctured. Anyways, you get the story. You get the point. Okay, I'm not gonna be sitting here trying to convince you of the mystical nature of things. The universe is mystical. I'm a little humanoid with 2 hands and 2 feet, and I'm talking to you on this camera. It's like, oh yeah, makes sense, perfect. Science. Science. No, hello. It's like I don't know how this is possible. I don't even know what this is. Like, what are we doing here? What am I doing? What is this? Hello. This is a very dangerous. It's not dangerous. It's just the way it is. So 32 years of age is how. No, I need to say this. It's important for me to say this. It's dangerous to consume any. It's not smart. It's not wise to consume any things that alter your state of mind. You want to be in the normal, natural, sober state of mind. That way, you have the maximum stability and sharpness over your mind, and you're not adding unnecessary problems onto your life, because if you are consuming any of these substances, you are inevitably adding more problems into your life, and you will have to overcome them. So please stop it, okay? So there's something else I needed to say and mention. So yes, don't consume these substances, and I will go to the Isha Yoga Center. I'll see what that place is about, and I'll go inevitably to Kailash and see what that place is about. yes, by the time that I'm 32 years of age, this will all be understood by me. I will fully have mastered myself, and whatever strength and stability that there is for me to gain, by 32 years of age, I'll be, let me give you kind of a metaphor here. It's like, I'll kind of like graduate through this little learning phase that I'm here. I'm learning, okay? Even though I have realization, that's not important to me enough to just to sit and what am I gonna do? No. So life has to continue forward. I have to continue forward. I have to continue learning everything that there is to learn about this creation, learning how to master my reality, my body, learning what this whole existence is. Like, I'm still just fascinated by this. Every time that I wake up, it's like, how am I alive? How am I in this body? What is this? Why is there anything? Why are we here? Why is it this way but not another way? How come? Like, what? Why? How? For what reason? Why? Why is this happening? And Sadhguru says, oh, if you're really ecstatic and blissful, yeah, okay, I get that. Still, this is a very important topic for me to talk about and discuss. And ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to make it my life's mission or my life's goal to bring your attention towards this phenomenal masterpiece known as Kailash, okay? Yes, it's a simple mountain, blah, blah, but I'm sure if you've watched me up until now, you already know that it's not a simple mountain. It is not a simple mountain at all, okay? There's nothing simple about it. Yeah, there are simple mountains, okay, that's just a mountain. But this is not just a mountain, it's like a monster. It's like a being that is capable of understanding the universe or knowing the universe or telling you everything about the universe, or it's just, I don't know, honestly, I don't know. I'm barely scratching the surface. It doesn't even feel like I'm scratching the surface. I'm like far away, and I can imagine myself scratching the surface of this thing. That's who I am, that's where I am. So I have no idea what's going to happen when I start fully evolving into this. And Sadhguru says, your ability to make use of it, I don't believe you can. I'm sure that his ability to make use of it is not complete and full either. I'm sure what he's able to use with Kailash or from Kailash is probably like I don't know. I'm just guessing here, because Sadhguru goes there consistently every single year. And he says in his videos that, sometimes I think, it's winter time and I'm not going to go to Kailash next summer because my knees are hurting and this is hurting and that's hurting and it's so much pain and it's so complicated and all this stuff. And then the summer comes, like, yeah, no, I have to go. I can't wait to go because it's such a phenomenal place. It's such a masterpiece. Even he, having mastered life and having all of his 114 chakras fully wide open, still he chooses to go there. It's such a phenomenal place. It's such a remarkable place. It's something so much bigger than a human life, a human birth, as the puny little human creature that we are. Again, I have to reiterate this, that this phenomenal, just eye-explosive experience that I had rewatching my previous video titled Sadhguru, Why I Love Him So Much. And me looking at Kailash and him saying things like, no one can miss the immensity of it, okay? If they walk to Kailash with a certain sense of kind of receptivity, you cannot miss the immensity of it. It's immense. It is immense. You can even see it to the video camera. This is why I'm urging you to make Kailash your primary goal, your primary focus in life. There's literally nothing you can do. This is everything. This is literally everything. Kailash is everything. So yeah, Sadhguru said that it's phenomenal. It's a masterpiece. It's beyond any imagination. It's beyond anything. And literally made my throat bleed. Oh man, that's phenomenal. That's remarkable. I'm sure I'll make that the thumbnail of this video, and hopefully I'll get lots of views. Please like this video, share this, and of course, if you have watched up until now, I'm offering you a gift to communicate with me, to speak with me. Okay, you've obviously heard my experiences, and I'm willing to, even if you're highly evolved in the path, I'm willing to share my ideas with you, to interchange our minds. I want to talk to you, want to see who's watching me, in exchange for donations. Okay, so if you need help in life, if you're struggling, if you're lost, if you have any kind of pain or any kind of challenges, I can so easily solve that. It's like nothing. Okay, and also if you're involved, there's highly evolved people watching my channel. I'm willing to communicate with you too and share my ideas with you. And again, you don't have to donate. It's not a requirement, and I'm not gonna go chase you around, but I want to make more money to fuel my life forward, inevitably to go to Isha Yoga Center and then to Kailash. My life is going to culminate when I see Kailash. And what's more is that people have said and this is true, I experientially, energetically understand this is true, I feel it, that people that visit Kailash, their nails grow faster, their hair grows faster, their beards grow faster, longer. So time there is faster. And why? Yes, I definitely see this as true. Like with 90% certainty or 99% certainty, however much certainty I can say this with, without being ridiculous, this is how I'm going to say it. Why? Because the sheer intensity of that place, it's intense. It's just vibrating. It's intense, so intense that you can't help but to be warped, to be in this kind of time frame. And yes, definitely, the cycles turn faster there. So your growth of your body will be much faster, significantly faster than regular people down there in the plains and next to the sea. Not to say that you're gonna be, coming back from 2 days or 3 days, you're gonna be like some hairy old man crawled out of the jungle. Not like that, but it's not that significant that, it's like so significant, but it can be perceived, it can be felt. It can be felt to someone that is spiritually in tune and sensitive. And what else? Yeah, so this Kailash it's a phenomenal place. It makes times, and this is like scientists are talking about this because they're saying things like, if you and I were to put the same wristwatch on both our hands and it was a perfect wristwatch, it always took the perfect time, and it, rotated in the exact same kind of gears, and it never skipped time. And if we went out into our separate ways in the world and we lived, and some of us, either I was very intense at one point or you were very intense, and then we came back 80 years later and we would check the time, we would be slightly off because we experience time differently, you and I, based on how we're living through this world, how we're moving through the space around us, in space and time. You think that people are traveling in space, you have to go somewhere far. No, you're traveling in space right now. Like, hello, this is space, we're in space right now. Okay, except we're protected by this little atmosphere, and we're kind of in a little cozy bubble here. Like, hey, I'm a little creature walking around in a little cozy bubble. But no, you're in space, this is space, I'm literally space traveling, this is space, right here. So how I'm traveling through the space, how I'm traveling through the space is going to be unique to my experience and also to your experience, and we're going to experience time relatively. We're not going to experience time the same way. So that's why Kailash is like that. People say that your hair grows faster, your nails grow faster, you become wiser. And something I want to add here is that I'm growing out my beard and my hair also, but most specifically my beard, because of Kailash, simply because of Kailash. Because at one point, intuitively, I perceived this within myself that it's like, how can I explain this? It's like Kailash wants me to do this, or this is the natural thing to do in the body, and I just perceived it, like it just mirrored into me. Oh yes, of course, naturally, like of course I have to have this. It's like, if I was like going out to the dentist and saying, hey, dentist, file my teeth, make my teeth $1, or rip some teeth out of my body and, I don't know, replace them with wooden pegs. That's so unnatural. That's my imaginary mind little thing. How we've conditioned, we have these beliefs. It's not a belief. It's not a belief. It's just how my body is, and I'm naturally letting it grow, okay? Now, I'm sure in the future it's going to become, whatever. However my beard is, that's just how it is, and it's going to look much better in the future. By 32 years of age, I'm going to look like a professional master. But right now, it's kind of, whatever. Whatever the appearance that you think of my facial hair is, that's totally fine with me. That's the reason why I'm growing out my beard, is because of Kailash. And I want to be strong within my own body, I want to be immensely capable, and this definitely doesn't not help me do that. It helps me to become stronger in my body. Actually, in fact, I'm just thinking about this, like I was thinking about this, what if I just shaved my head? That would be catastrophic for me, catastrophic news for me. I would have to struggle again for 2 months just to regrow the whatever size that I have here. And that would be very, very painful. That would be a struggle. And also the facial hair, but that's not as much. So I'm gonna continue growing out my hair, gonna continue growing out my nails, although I'll have to cut my nails at some point. I'm realizing the truth of that now. And yeah, I'm gonna continue growing this out because why? This is strength. A tiger doesn't go in the jungle and starts clawing its fangs next to the tree bark to make it duller, or starts ripping apart its nails, starts chewing its nails. It doesn't do that. Okay, why? Because nature has given you all of these things for your advantage, for your power, and yet you don't want to be powerful. You want to be like the rest of the smart little workers in this planet here, and you go shave yourself, you scrape yourself, you do all sorts of funny things to your body, and then you're wondering why you're feeling lost in life, you're feeling discombobulated, or whatever other experiences you have. By the way, I hope you can hear me. I'm using the front camera, so you're gonna have to really turn up the volume on this one because this is nighttime and I obviously can't speak loud, so apologies in advance for the poor volume. I'm sure I'm gonna get an external microphone for me to talk. Well, is my throat still bleeding? No, I don't think so. That was quite remarkable and fantastic. So whatever the pressure, whatever that was holding in myself here in this point, whatever needed to come out, needed to be expressed, that was expressed, obviously, right? Because literally it pierced my throat somehow naturally this happened, and this came out of me, so. Well, I guess I'm gonna go until my phone dies. I don't really know what else to do. Wow. Shiva, man, Shiva. Unbelievable. So, you know, when the Buddha was alive, I'm just thinking back to my days of being a Buddhist and thinking that the Buddha was the most powerful being in the universe, because that's what I'm interested in, power. And seeing his and hearing his perspective into life, and how the Buddha must have walked around this planet Earth, and the Buddha must have known that there was this Adiyogi, or this Shiva, that was, you know, alive many years ago, and he was the one that's contributed to his spiritual knowledge and why he, you know, learned all these things. I'm not going to get into the topic of the Buddha right now, but the Buddha must have walked around in the northern part of the Indian continent and knew that there was this space of Kailash, but he never talked about it. He had his own mission to accomplish. He had his own kind of ideas. He wanted to build spiritual soldiers as monks. That's exactly what he did. But there are more powerful beings, much more powerful beings than the Buddha. The Buddha is insignificant compared to Shiva, or the Adiyogi. So as far as what I see, the first yogi, or the Adiyogi, is literally like the universe created itself. Or let's say, this is how I see it, it's like if the universe decided to give birth to itself, or if the universe was a mind and it decided, you know what, I'm going to reincarnate to kind of like fool around here in this universe. That's what it did. So that's who Shiva is. So whatever the emptiness of space is, whatever the dark matter that the universe, that the scientists talk about, whatever is 99% of the existence, it's dark, it's empty, whatever that is, that manifested itself into a form, became the Adiyogi, which is, you know, this being literally has mastery over the entire universe. Why? Because it's like, you know, if you program a game, and then there's rules for the game, everyone has to follow. You can't necessarily break the rules, and unless you have some extraordinary power. But if you created the game, you can go into the game with God mode. It's called God mode. You know, you program it yourself, and you can just do whatever you want. You can break the rules, you can fly, you can jump, you can do anything. Why? Because you know, you made the game, you created the game, you know all the rules, and you know how to break all the rules and how to go beyond all the rules. So that's what Shiva did. That's what the Adiyogi represents. And somehow I'm living in this little form. I have this human body, and I'm walking around. And it's like every day is like a new. It's like every moment is like new. Okay, it's like almost I have amnesia. But I have to remember, okay, I have an 80-year sentence here, or I have a 70-year term, however long I'm going to live here, and I have this human body, and somehow I have to walk around as this character. Even though in my mind's eye, I could like perceive what Shiva must have gone through when he starts